And then over on the right-hand side, just a quick view there of Michael Matthews as well. Now, Michael Matthews could be a man to come up with a victory here this afternoon. Fast sprinter from Australia.
But there's the peloton, steady at the moment. And now the race referee is checking, and he says that's it, everything is in place, we are underway. The start of the final stage. This is America's greatest bicycle race, and as always, the crowds have turned out in their tens of thousands around this route to cheer these riders over a stunning state of the United States.
Well, a magnificent background. Not surprised at all, Phil, to see the first attack of the day. And that, you know, this is going to be the par for the course, I would expect, because these guys know they're on live television around the world. They want to try and get themselves into a breakaway. They want to try and break the stranglehold of the sprinters if they can. And the teams of the sprinters will come forward and chase everything down.
Well, this is Optum, presented by Kelly Benefit Strategy, has opened up the day's racing. Immediately the peloton has split under pressure. Now, to the riders at this level of cycling, this is a very short and flat and fast day. They will attack from the gun simply because they've got to keep the pressure on if they want to win at this stage. They can't have a gentle ride. This looks like it is one of the Optum riders. It might well be Badjadali who's gone clear here. Looks over his shoulder, checks on the field, they're coming back. But what he's doing here, Paul, is tempting the riders to come and join him, get a little group away.
That is Michael Creed of Optum, presented by Kelly Benefits, number 134. He's got a couple of riders joined him, but look how long that line is at the front end of the peloton. That's because the pressure is being put on. Interesting to note that one of the first teams to take up the pacemaking, in fact, was BMC Racing. Their man TJ Van Gardner, I think a little dejected yesterday, Phil. He went into the stage thinking he was going to win this bike race overall, and he crumbled a fraction in the final few kilometres.
Little group just trying to get around Michael Creed here. Is now just checking out which numbers have joined him here on the attack to see if it's worth pushing on. A big reaction, and it's come from the team of the race leader, Robert Hessink. He rides for the Dutch Rabobank team, and they've just brought that big field across. It looks to me as though this is Creed coming into a shot. He's gone again here. As we switch to the back, it's Gregory Rast, the former road race champion of Switzerland, number 7 there, who is sat at the tail at the moment.
Looking at some very expensive real estate down there as we move away from Beverly Hills. It won't take us long to get into West Hollywood, and then after that we'll go right the way through Hollywood and Hollywood Boulevard as well.
And a lot of the film stars have taken time out. I think they made their way down to the finish here to watch the arrival today of the Amgen Tour of California. I have to say the weather is absolutely perfect. It is not too hot, and we're just on 41 miles to go at the moment today, with the whole peloton just about together as they're putting on the pressure. And if you work in kilometres, that's 67 kilometres still to race. Tim Roe on the attack now for Team BMC.
Well, they've got themselves that slight advantage. Mike Creed in second position is the guy who started the move. Not a lot of reaction in the peloton. A lot of the guys, I think of the sprinters, for example, they will try and shelter in the peloton throughout the majority of the first part of this race, only moving to the front down towards the end. And as I said, Phil, it looks like it's a flat stage on the profile map, but in fact it isn't. It is quite undulating and rolling. And the circuit around downtown, once they hit Hill Street, I think is going to be quite a leg bender after 8 days of racing.
Well, we've swung right now onto the famous Sunset Boulevard here as we head towards the center of Los Angeles. We've got the Garmin Barracuda and the United Healthcare teams trying to drag somebody out of that pack to try and get downtown, where there's a huge crowd waiting for them. We have had hundreds and hundreds of cyclists on the course this morning in Los Angeles, where they've been riding for an hour and a half, doing as many of the circuits as they could in that time, provided us with a great atmosphere.
Well, we're getting a great atmosphere at the front end of the peloton there, because as you can see, they're stretched out in a long line. They are certainly not hanging about. There has not been one easy day in this Amgen Tour of California. From the very first stage around Santa Rosa, the hammer has been down on every occasion, and today will be no exception.
Absolutely. If you're a bike rider in the race, this is your view from the back.
Putting a lot of pressure on the front end of the peloton, that is Rabobank, and they're trying to make sure that they bring their leader into downtown in the main field. These attacks will continue. They will be incessant because everybody is looking for a last chance here to get themselves a stage victory. The first 4 days of this race were dominated by one man, Peter Sagan of Slovakia, the Slovakian national champion. He's going to run out the winner, of course, of the points classification, and he's hoping that he's going to win it, make it win number 5 here this afternoon. But there's a lot more hungry sprinters hoping that they will get the opportunity to win. including men, of course, like Tom Bonan, the rider from Omega Pharma Quickstep. He would love to get himself a victory. Now there's another move coming off the frontier. These attacks are going all of the time, and it's not a surprise really to see them coming from the American domestic teams. This move coming off the front is Team Exergy, and again Optum is putting a man across the gap.